All right, y'all. And we're back for another episode. Thank you guys for joining me at Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. And today I'm going to try to keep my energy and my mood in check because I'm super excited for this episode. I have two lovely, gorgeous ladies joining me for this wonderful conversation. I have Miss Shay Williams. You guys know her. She has joined me before in the past. We had a wonderful conversation. How are you doing today, sis?
I am doing good. I'm actually preparing for a 2.5 month break from work, from doing therapy. I
Okay.
needed a break. So I'm looking forward to just getting reconnected, getting more aligned, taking care of myself more. So I'm looking forward to the break. But I'm doing good today.
Good. 2 months though. Like I will take a 2 month paid break anytime.
Yeah,
Okay.
I needed it.
Yes, but thank you for joining me for this conversation. And I have the lovely, I feel like I know her because we talk so much. I have Miss Shonte from Sippin with Shonte. What's up, sis? How you doing tonight?
Hey, I am good. Thank you so much for having me. I was in here earlier thinking about, and I was like, I don't even remember how I met her. Like, she's like my Instagram sister, but like, I don't remember how I met her. Like, I don't remember how we connected, but I talk to you all the time. Like, you my friend. Like, I was like, she's my friend now. We friends. So
Literally.
I'm so happy to be here. Like, I listen to your podcast all the time. I love the topics that you talk about. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm chilling today. Like, my podcast is crazy. So you see, I got water. I don't even have no alcohol like I usually
Showing
do.
off.
I'm chilling to like I was like, this is your platform. I'm gonna act like I have some sense today. Like I'm gonna be on my best behavior today.
Listen, the joys of social media, the positive parts, because I've met both of you ladies through social media, TikTok and Instagram, and I would admit, like I am grateful for that. So yes, the connections, the vibes have been nothing but wonderful. I am truly thankful for both of you, beautiful ladies, and all of your amazing content for one and just for being you. And again, thank you both for joining me tonight for this conversation
Of
because we're going to get
course.
into some things. But first, we got to check in with ourselves and do our little mental health check. So, Shay, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being you're feeling good, in a good place, 1 being I need some extra porn, but I'm okay, I'm managing a little bit. What would you say your mental health is today?
I would say I'm at a 4 today.
Four,
Yeah,
four?
I ended off with a pretty good day. I was looking forward to this, to being here with you ladies and connecting, talking about this. This is so important, much needed conversation. So I would say I am at a 4 and I'm feeling
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Shantae? What are you feeling today? Scale of 1 to 5.
Same. I'm at a 4. I had a good day today. Nothing drastic happened. I drove home. I made it home safe. So I don't really have nothing, like really nothing to complain about right now. I would say I'm at a 4 too. Like I was excited to come on here and I was like, you said it was going to be a doctor. I was like, okay, cool. So I was happy to be on here. So I'm in a good space today.
Hey, that's what I love to hear. So I'm at a 5. I'm feeling really good. My mood is good. My mental health is in place. My body is feeling well. So y'all know it's been a long time coming for these feel good moments for me, and I'm embracing every single aspect of it.
As you
Again, yes, because listen, I need it. Okay. Um, as I always say, I encourage everyone that's listening, even you two ladies, to continue to check in with yourself on a daily basis. I know times get hard. We do a lot. You have a lot of different roles, but don't never forget to, check in with yourself, have that internal dialogue just to see how you're feeling, what's going on, grab you some wine or something to settle the mood, whatever it is, talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Just make sure you are checking in with yourself. So, y'all, we're going to get into the topic. And me and Shante actually have been talking about this for a couple of weeks up until I think I decided to actually say, you know what, let's take this to the podcast. Let's put this out in the airways a little more because I don't like what I'm seeing around this topic, but let us speak on it, okay? And I was like, Shay would be an awesome person because me and Shay have touched on this a little bit as well. So tonight we are going to discuss protecting Black women.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, we about to get into some things. So I want to start off with prefacing things that are said on this show tonight, today, whatever time frame it is you're listening to, is based on our own personal opinions and experiences, okay? So don't come for us. Don't hop in the DMs. Don't hop in the comments. If you do, just tread
I like,
lightly.
if you do, I like to tussle.
She does.
If you do.
I'm in full support with Shonte too.
Right. I like to tussle if you do got a problem.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, like literally.
Yeah, and I'll be sharing some actual data here. So
Yes, come through
Oh,
with the facts.
she was coming on. I said, I know she's finna come with the facts. Like, I want to hear everything she got to say.
Yes, we about to get into it. All right, so let's start. How would you ladies, and anybody can go first, how would you define the slogan protecting Black women?
Go ahead, Miss Ma'am.
okay, so for me, I feel like protecting Black women means don't stand passively by as a Black woman struggles or is violated. Do something, right? Do not be a bystander, right? Because this happens oftentimes again in history and society. So I feel like that slogan means like do something and be proactive in support of Black women.
I like that. All right, Shante, protecting
Same.
Black women.
Feel like I wrote in my notes because I wrote down some stuff so I wouldn't forget. And I really put in big letters like open your mouth. That's what I feel like protect Black women is. Open your mouth, say something. Don't just protect us physically, protect us mentally, protect us everywhere, protect us at the hospitals. Like y'all know we the number one people dying during childbirth because no one believes us. No one wants to protect us. No one wants to stand up for us. So basically protect women to me or protect Black women means open your mouth when it comes to Black women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, stand in the gap with us. Fill those voids. Don't just hashtag it, be about it. I think it's so much easier for people to verbally say things and then their actions do not follow behind what they're speaking on. So if you're going to be a person that's speaking on, oh, we need to protect Black women, we need to look after each other, or you're going to continue to hashtag it, actually be taking the initiative to follow through and do so. Otherwise you'll get situations where you see now people are competing with one another, people are bashing Black women in the news and on social media, and what happens with that, it opens the gate for other races and other genders and people of other backgrounds to just continue to just belittle and degrade us.
Yeah.
Degrade us. And I really sat with this. I really had to sit with this because I'm like, it started off, at least from my knowledge, as just a hashtag. Like, I can't remember what situation done happened because so many different things have happened to us and Black women in general. But I'm like, this really started off as a hashtag. And it's like, is it just a hashtag or is it an actual movement?
Yeah.
And if it's like one of them things where, okay, maybe it is just a social media thing, what do you feel like we can do to make it more of a movement?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely feel like it's something that should be a movement. It should be a way of life at this point. I feel like one of the things that I really appreciated that was like more of a movement on social media was the Black Woman Follow Train on TikTok, the Black Woman Follow Party. I think that was a good way of like us supporting each other. And I feel like doing more things like that where like we can like, engage in each other's content, follow each other, like, trick the algorithm. I think that was the most trending trend for like a couple of weeks now. And I feel like something like that was just so powerful. Like all of us just rallying together and showing love.
The unfortunate part about that, so of course I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate, right? It was I wouldn't be me if I didn't. But like I want y'all and people that's listening to see things from a different perspective as well. So there was one Black woman that decided to make this whole Black girl follow train on TikTok. Everyone used this sound, and whoever likes the video and comments, you supposed to go and follow that person, show love, whatever, whatever. And I was like, damn, that'd be a good way to like, of course, like get your followers up, but to like showcase your work and stuff. And I promote like my podcast a lot on there, but I'm always supporting other people's content as well. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it because I said, I give it a couple of weeks. You're going to have people start doing videos complaining about it. And that's what happened. You know, people was like, what's going on? Like I followed all y'all ain't follow me back, or like people just followed and it's like not actually supporting the content and what the whole movement started about, you know? Or it was people stealing people's content and like this weird like competition type thing. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, whether it's protecting Black women or supporting one another, there has to come a time where we don't look at each other like we're arch rivals.
Yeah.
You know, and if like how I try to look at it, like if I'm gonna show up for myself, I gotta show up for my sister. Like I'm so it's probably ridiculously overprotective over like my friends, you know, and like the women in my life, you know, we out places like, no, you're my friend. I don't want you friends with nobody else. And I feel like we should be more like that with each other, you know. What do you think, Shonte? Like, how do you feel like we can show up more as like protecting Black women opposed to it just being a social media slogan or like a hashtag?
Well, you know, like when you said that, I was like, you know what? Like I play devil's advocate a lot because I always try to get people to see like what's from the other side. And so like I really feel like, to be honest, which is very sad to say, but unfortunately, like we are our worst enemies. Like when it comes to like when I see things on social media, when it's Black women and a Black woman is getting attacked for this or getting attacked for that, it be Black women doing it. It'd be Black men doing it, but it'd be Black women doing it. Like you see, mostly it's Black women that's attacking each other. It's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If you're skinny, you get talked about being skinny. If you get a BBL, you talked about getting a BBL. If you light skin, you get talked about that. If you wear natural hair, you get talked about that. It's like we live in a world like it don't matter what we do. Like on one side, it's like everyone want to talk about us and degrade us, but then on the other side, they paying thousands of dollars to be like us. So it's like they always want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues. I say that all the time.
No,
And that's a whole nother conversation. I start veering off a little bit. That's a whole nother conversation because I say that all the time. And I think like I think people should learn how to more like to educate themselves, like learn how to educate yourselves. But then I also say this, like I don't have a problem educating someone on like, you know, who we are and what we stand for and what we need. But then educate yourself too. Like I don't have to be a teacher all the time. Like I don't have to educate all the time. Like it's not my job to educate you all the time, because when you start a new job, you're gonna get that orientation, but you also gonna learn it yourself because you want to exceed at that job, right? So it's the same thing with us. Like learn something. If you really want to get to know us and know who we are, then you have to learn to educate. You have to learn to educate yourself. You got to learn to listen to us. Like a lot of times we come out as things and we're not believed. We're also blamed for
Talk about it.
It must have been you because you look a certain way. It must be you because you got a body that you didn't ask for, that you was born with. It must be you because Black women get over sexualized all the time. So anything I say, it's always a question. It's never if I automatically believe you. It's like you got to prove to me that you're right. I'm sorry, y'all start going off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just start going off.
Speak your truth.
Yes, sister girl done woke up. I mean, I appreciate all that, and you made so many valid points. And it reminded me. I was actually watching a YouTube blogger prior to us getting on live. Not getting on live, but she's live, and prior to us, you know, having this conversation. Her name is the Plainest Jane. She's on YouTube. Shout out to sis Plainest Jane. But part of her conversation was about Lori Harvey, right? Because did y'all see the other day the interview that she did? And she was asked about the people that she's dated and the number of people that she's dated. And, you know, she's never addressed openly, like confirmed or denied if I dated this person, that person, whatever. But anyway, the conversation, it was going a little good on the Plainest Jane channel until this guy got up there. And he's like, she's a hoe. Like she's this age, like she's like 20 something, I think. And she done had 5 boyfriends, or she dated 5 men. She's a hoe. So Plainest Jane asked him, like, well, how many women have you had sex with in the last 3 years? And you know, he's a dumbass. So he's like, oh, I'm a virgin. You know, the stupidest. I hate when they say that. But then he goes on to say, well, I can't be a hoe because I don't get compensated for dating and sleeping with women. He's like, it's different for men, especially black men, because black women, y'all. He just blatantly just put black women in this box because of their preferences and how black women choose to date. When I tell you the conversation got good, but it goes to show how what you said, people coming up with these stereotypes and things under false pretense. And it's just like, okay, and plain and Jane, the example she used was Taylor Swift done had bodies too. And she a white woman, and you don't see the media
Right.
and the blogs showcasing every person. JoJo Siwa, okay, because I be on TikTok. I really be in that little. They be some of them people like really be they will find your shit, okay? But JoJo Siwa, that little white girl, like they be dating and y'all don't be showcasing them plastering their faces and all their exes and
Right.
sexual partners. When it's a black woman, she on the Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Hollywood. She everywhere. Baller Alert. Y'all want y'all in the DMs, TMZ. Y'all want all these interviews, and then you go down to the comments, and that's where things be going. You
I'm so
know.
confused with that though, because I'm like, all these guys that she's dated, how do y'all know how many women these guys she slept with? Are y'all in the bedroom with her? How do y'all know she's not dating these guys and whoever she chooses, then some she dismissing? Like, why do y'all assume? Why does she have to be a hoe? Like, how do you know she slept with every single person that she's dated? Like, we do
Right.
that. We do date men and don't sleep with them. I know it seems magical and unbelievable, but we do that.
Exactly. It's like you just automatically assume, you know. But I'm gonna be real though. Could you be with Michael B. Jordan and just not do
I
nothing?
would please. Girl, bye. Even a new one, Franklin Saint. I'm like, what? Okay, I see it. I see it. I see you, sis.
I
Okay.
mean, the amount of black women that is called that I've heard being called a hoe, being called a gold digger is absurd to me. Like it's really absurd. It's like when we want to expect more, when we raise our standards, when we want to be treated with respect, right? It's like, absolutely not. Nuh-uh. It's like they feel like we're entitled, and it's like no, like that's what we deserve. That's the bare minimum. Right. It's like we're so used to not getting it that when we actually ask for it, it's like people are just like creating a frenzy. And I just think it's just like, excuse me? Like, no,
Exactly.
I want more.
Not only that, it's just like people wanting or feeling like they have some type of control over our bodies. I know that's a whole nother thing, but you know, it's just like, well, do we actually own anything of ourselves? You know, for so long, I feel like the woman in general has fought to have rights, you know, for it to be in office, for it to have different type of positions. And then when it comes to us specifically, we get these positions in corporate and we can't wear our hair a certain way. We can't wear certain type of outfits because it's too revealing. I never forget, I can't think of her name offhand and it's going to bug me, but she's a freaking college basketball coach. And this
Oh,
guy,
I
yes,
follow her.
me
I follow
too.
her.
This
Oh, she
guy,
is so dope.
yes, this guy on TikTok put up a video last year, I think it was, about when I tell you she dresses her ass off, I'm mad I can't think of this lady
Absolutely.
name. She dresses to the T. I mean, literally hair to the
I want
toenails.
I'm trying to is it Coach Sydney? I'm trying
Yes,
to think
that's
of
what
her
it is.
name.
It
It's
is.
like
It is.
weird along those lines because I follow her too. I literally go on her page almost every day to see what she's wearing. Like she one of the baddest dresses I ever seen before. Like sis is amazing.
Like
Like
Coach
when I say
Sydney?
amazing, but it was a big old viral thing about an outfit she had. It was like some pink like leather pants or something. Looked amazing on her, but it was on the Shade Room. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Coach Sydney Carter she's in
Mhm.
Texas. Listen, when that video went up, I mean, but it's crazy because that brought out the dummies. Okay, because it was some men that really was agreeing with him, and I'm like, no offense to anyone that's listening, no offense, but you, I feel like when black women show up a certain way, if that was a white woman, oh, you wouldn't have been getting that type of argument. You know what I'm saying? Like take a Kim Kardashian type. That's because in my Sydney is shapely. You know what I'm saying? Naturally shapely.
I was
Oh,
because she has a figure, and most of you know what. Let me
No,
be quiet.
no, speak. No,
hey,
go
go ahead.
ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
about to be out here
Keep on it.
offending people, so I was like, let me be quiet.
No, go ahead. Say what you gotta say, sis.
But most of Black women are, voluptuous shapes. So, she looks bad in them leather pants, but because she has a nice body and she's shaped, again, like you said, now if that had been Taylor Swift in that same outfit with her body, that's why I said I'm gonna offend somebody. But again, I like to tussle. I said it.
Oh, go
So
ahead, right. Speak your truth.
I said what I said, but I'm not saying nothing that's not facts. They got two different body shapes.
Mhm.
But if Taylor Swift had that same outfit on coaching basketball, nobody would say nothing about it. But because her body is amazing and she has all these curves, then everyone has something to say. I think she looks amazing. Every time she go on that court, I think she looks amazing. She brings flavor to it. I think she looks amazing. But like you said, she wouldn't be all over the blogs if she didn't have the curves that she had.
It's the over sexualizing for me.
Yes.
It's like in our
Mhm.
body, had the same. Like you said, you a white woman with the same outfit and a black woman with the same outfit, and because our body is so over sexualized in the media, like in everywhere, and it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like even
Yeah.
like in professional settings, like sometimes when I'm in professional settings, I like look at myself like, okay, is this too tight? Is this too, because of my shape? Like I'm more voluptuous too, and it's like just the way that our bodies are viewed and over sexualized is just like, oh my gosh.
Yo, I have literally called my mom and like, hey, let me FaceTime you real quick. Do I this because I'm busty. I've been busty since I was a teenager. And that started like a slight insecurity that I had dealt with since I was younger. And then being out in the public and people making comments and stuff, I always try to like dress a certain type of way. So even now at my big age, sometimes I'll call my mom like, "Hey, is this fitting me okay? Like, do I look presentable?" And she'll tell me what she think or whatever. But we shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. We
Agree.
shouldn't have to worry about posting certain things on social media and someone blowing it up and like making us into a meme because that is what happens. Of course, like in my humble opinion, you see more of them doing it to Black women than you do anyone else. Making a mockery. And speaking of social media, we about to dive into something, and I'm gonna try to hold my peace because, baby, listen, I will, like Shonte said, I will tussle,
That's a big tussle.
okay, over this next topic. But I want to go into some more like examples of
Mhm.
where we have seen society deem Black women, and I want to start with the Meg and Tory case. Oh yeah, y'all knew it was coming. I'm getting
Let's
hot
get it.
already. Getting hot already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to go back to the drawing board just a little bit when the situation first happened, right? And it was just, I stepped on glass, whatever, whatever. And then I remember because I was on YouTube and it was COVID and stuff like that. And it was a very specific blogger that I used to follow. And she tore Meg to pieces from the time she came out speaking about stepping on glass and then it came out that she was shot to when it went to court, and she was even at the court for like the whole trial and stuff. And then you just started to see people just cycle in. Like people literally reached out to her ex-boyfriend to figure out if she was the aggressor during their relationship. People reached out to like close family members. Like they just did the most to prove that she was that angry Black woman. And if she was shot, she had to do something to make him do that. Because, oh no, Tory, who has been plastered for assault and aggression over the years, he would never, ever do anything like that. And even with watching it go to trial and stuff, like I don't never really hop in like blogs and talk shit, but I was talking shit, you know? And it wasn't even the fact of I love Meg to death, but it was the fact that, like you said earlier, Shante, you see not only Black men doing it, it's the women was work. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the stuff they was saying, I'm like, well, damn, do you like who hurt you?
Right.
Like, who hurt y'all to make y'all go up under someone's comments that y'all don't know and defending another person that y'all don't know, you know? And then don't get me started when it was, oh, she's a liar. Well, why is she a liar? Well, because she told Gayle King that she didn't sleep with him. And you know what? Someone asked me, like, if it was you, would you have told Gayle King the truth? And I said, no. I would have lied too. I don't know about y'all, but what are your thoughts?
Man, I done lied on a lot of people. Let me tell you, like, I am a born again virgin. Nobody counts before that. I don't know you, sir. That never happened, sir. I don't know what allegations are that you're talking about because it never happened. Like, go away. It never happened.
But even still though, her saying she didn't sleep with him, does that take away the fact that she was still shot? That's what the whole argument became on social media. Well, because she lied to Gayle, Tory is innocent.
Yeah, it's like people are so quick to villainize, right? Or blame the Black woman. Like, okay, it must be something she did. And I feel like when it's a certain situations like that, like the risk of interpartner violence is higher for Black women. And I don't think people understand that. Like, we're more likely out of any other race of women to be domestically like violated. And it's just like the way that people like were so quick to come in and villainize and blame her. It was just frustrating. Like, it was just really
So you saw the blogs and all the comments and stuff.
Yes, and I've seen like some of the comments that people were making on TikTok videos, people talking about it, and I'm just like nobody ever stopped to think about like if he's actually wrong in the situation or like that was never really.
Yeah, and it's funny because I put I be trolling myself, right? I troll myself. So I put up 2 videos on TikTok. One was like the day like she walked out of court and stuff. It was like a really like we support Meg video, protect Black women type thing. And the other one was after the whole verdict came out. And let me tell you, that video literally had like damn near 11, 12,000 views and so many comments. And the Pookies, I think they call them the Pookies, the passport Pookies, was in the comments. These men would
All right,
just.
what is a passport, Pookie?
So like this girl on TikTok, once again, the men that are like Kevin Samuel's sons.
Oh, the ones that wear fedoras and turbans and say they high value men. Got it.
Yes. She called them the Pookies,
Got it.
and the ones that get the passports just to go to another country because they're tired of Black women. Because the Black women here in America won't submit to them the way that they want, so they get a passport. I mean, I am like go on TikTok and look up hashtag passport bros.
I really am as soon as we get off of here because I was like, wait, what?
No, like it is
making it a whole movement with them. Like,
yes, they got like a whole brotherhood type thing. And this one girl, she started, I can't think of her name, but she gave them the name Pookies. So like when I put the video up, I mean, I was like, do y'all really feel this way? So I don't be going back and forth in comments and stuff like that. And there was so many women Black women, they were standing in the gap for this one, coming in on my post and like demolishing these men. But it was one. And Shonte, this is the one I was telling you about.
Comments.
Yes, it was one. He wouldn't back down. He was like, y'all already know that the system is against us. Y'all don't protect us enough. I mean, he was going in, and he was just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I was like, I never do this, but let me go ahead and post a follow up. And mind you, it's like 2 weeks later. So, because he was like, oh, there was no evidence in the case. I'm like, did you follow the same trial that we all like was following? And I don't mean just looking at the shade room. I mean actually follow certain bloggers that was there and stuff. And like Nika Knight on YouTube, she the one that leaked all the evidence. So I ended up posting the actual evidence of like the gunshots. He's still in the comments fighting for his life about him not being gay. And I'm like, okay, sir. You just was somewhere else, but he never would acknowledge the fact that there was evidence, and I know a lot of people argue the fact of, oh, some of the evidence may not fit the crime, whatever, whatever. In my humble opinion, there was evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Shonte, tell us, what were your thoughts about watching like the whole trial and seeing all the blogs and the comments and stuff
Well, first
about
of
Meg?
all, most of those people that comment are people that get their news from the Shade Room and they think it's a real news. Like they think it's really like a real actual news source, and that's where they comments from. And so it was it's very strange to me how like so many people are going so hard to prove Meg wrong and to prove Tory right, and we're going so hard for a stranger, like a man you've never met in your life, a man you've never had a personal conversation with, a man who you don't know his personality, and y'all was going so hard, or they was going so hard to prove that she was wrong for a stranger. Like, what if that was your sister? What if that was your mom? Would you then say, well, I don't know, it looked like glass to me? Like, I don't know what it looked like. Would you say that to your own mother? Would you say that to your own sister? Well, you know, you was walking away, so technically you didn't look behind you and see who shot you. So how you know? Like, would you say that to someone that you love, or they be the first ones out trying to ride, trying to get revenge? But because it's a stranger, because which also didn't make sense to me, like why their sexual history was more important than her actually getting
right.
shot.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
Like who
Exactly.
whether she did or she did, I don't care if she had sex with Tori and Kelsey and the security guard and Kylie all at the same time. I don't care who she has sex. What does that have to do with her getting shot?
Exactly.
Nothing. But again, like y'all said, Black women are overly sexualized. So the first thing they want to think about is who she slept with, who she didn't sleep with, what she wearing, what she not wearing. That's all they want to think about. And I think it's real strange how when that verdict came out, it's so quiet on the internet now. Nobody got nothing to say. It's so like where y'all at? Where y'all at? Like y'all was so quiet. And so y'all okay bad mouthing us when it's something bad, but then when it's something good to a Black woman, everybody want to be quiet. Nobody want to say nothing. That's what I was talking about when I was saying stand up for us. Like, don't just try to come through when things are bad. Like that doesn't make any. The math ain't math, and like y'all real good when it's time to bash somebody, then y'all real good. But when it's time to stand up, everybody get real quiet. Like it's easier to be negative than it is to be positive, and that just sucks because that's the world we live in now. Like unfortunately. That's why I be staying in the house, because I be to cuss a lot of these people out. Like I just be in the house, minding my business, because I was like, I can't do it. Like this new group of people, they got a lot of audacity, and it's free. Audacity is free, and they using it all up, and I can't do it.
And it's at
audacity is overused at this point.
Yes,
yes. And you know what? The sad thing is, and not even just with like the whole Meg thing, when you see anything about a woman in the news and it's like a Black woman, oh, she's lying. You know, it's always a clown, in most cases, a clown nigga leading the pack. And I'm thinking about one very specific basement living clown nigga, DJ Academic, right? Because because no, listen, like, and this is what I mean, like, I don't, this is why I can't be doing social media, because certain things just like really trigger me. I literally did jump in his comments, retweeted him and quoted him, and I was like literally on that tail because he was just so freaking ignorant. But as soon as that verdict came out, he was gone.
Girl, absolutely. Absolutely. I told you when we was talking about this topic, you got to learn how to block people, sis. Block them in the middle of typing. It's going to piss them the hell off. Block them while they say what you got to say. Say, cuss them out. Talk about everything. Talk about their mama. Talk about their dead hamster for the 3rd grade. Talk about everybody. And then block them when they start typing. Block them. That's going to piss them off. That's going to piss him off. They're going to make another page and try to find you.
Girl, listen. The amount of troll accounts that I have had to block I'm like, okay, listen, guys. If somebody block you, just take the L. Please just take the L. Gracefully bow out and part ways and gone. Because I'm not dumb. If I block you today and a new page pop up tomorrow, I know it's you. I know it's you. And that's, y'all be stalking. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. But that is definitely real. And like, listen. You said something about when it's even good situations, y'all can't even show up for us. And this wasn't even on my little my script, but I just thought about it because the same thing happened with Brittany Griner. And I know that the internet was like really split with that whole decision of the Biden administration bringing her home because she committed a crime. Like her crime, seriously? No, they chopped her charges up. That's what it was. Like drug trafficking. I'm not a lawyer or nothing like that. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know how to read, and I feel like the crime did not the punishment did not fit the crime. That's just my opinion. I feel like Russia personally had more motives. But soon as it hit the internet that they had reached a deal and she was coming home, the white people, again, no offense to anyone that's listening that does not, I don't mean no harms by it, but I gotta speak my truth as a Black woman. I'm sorry. I just don't want to
all the time on podcasts. They know me now.
Yeah, I just don't want to come. I just don't want to come off a certain way, But if you know me, you know. As soon as the news hit the internet, I wasn't shocked that the white people and even other races was just like going at it. Like the biggest came out, let's be real. But the Black people, even though I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like this is supposed to be like a cultural type of celebration for us, a Black woman and she's gay. Like something worked in her favor. She's not 6 feet under. Yes, she may have committed a crime over in another country. Yes, whatever. And I'm not like just tapping her on the wrist, but in my opinion, the punishment 10 years for what?
Yeah. That seemed a bit outrageous, very much so.
And I mean, once again, me trolling myself. I put up another post. When I tell you that's the most people I probably ever blocked in one day. Because of
she was on your tussle, Shonte.
That day, yeah, because I just, yeah, because at the end of the day, like I always say, like I will never debate or argue you on your opinion because we all are entitled to our opinion. Facts, I will bring out the textbooks, research, statistics. I will debate you all day on that. And the stuff that they was talking about, and it wasn't, again, it was Black people too. And I'm like, why can't y'all just celebrate this? Why can't we have this? Black women, why can't we have this?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, what were y'all thoughts about the whole Brittany Griner thing? And I don't know if y'all seen like all the negative feedback that came after she was home, but like what were y'all thoughts around it if y'all did see it?
I didn't see I know like the basics of it, but I didn't see much of the feedback that they were saying, like the comments. I just personally feel like I agree with you, like the 10 years, I didn't feel like that fit the crime. I just felt like there was something else going on with Russia and there was other motives involved. That's kind of what I felt. But I didn't really see the feedback of the comments of what they were saying about her. So I can't really speak on that part.
Okay. How about you, Shonte? Did you see anything?
Yeah, I think everybody was split down the middle, but I'm going to play devil's advocate because what I do. Now, I do feel like the punishment was very extreme. 9 years was for a vape pen. But I also feel like because she's played over there for so many years, she knows what the law and what the protocol is. And she knows, but I also feel like because she's a basketball player, they might have been allowing her to do all this stuff for these amount of years, never said nothing. And now that we got beef with them, now it's like, oh no, I'm gonna make an example out of you. That's what I thought was also going on because she's played over there for like 8 years. So ain't no way she don't know the law. Ain't no way she don't know what's going on. And them overseas, I watch Locked Up Abroad. I'm like obsessed with that show. So they be giving you real time for like the smallest amount of things because other countries don't play that mess. Like they don't play when it comes to drugs. But then again, with my devil's advocate, I'm glad that she's home, but we also have Black people in America that are in prison for weed for 15, 20 years that no one is talking about, that no one is helping. But, because she's a celebrity, she gets this pass, and I'm okay with it because I don't want none of our people being locked up over in another country.
Right.
But I feel like none of that work is being put into people in America that has done what she did and less and in prison right now.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Good point. And I mean, I know personally, like here in Baltimore, the former state's attorney, that was one reason a lot of people disliked her, was because she did let a lot of people out for chump charges like that. Um, Now I don't know about everybody, but I know like it was a lot of like weed charges and different things. And a lot of places it's legal, so they're going back looking at people's records and things, and they're making decisions. So you made some good points, especially about the fact that she had been played over there for a while, and I know that she had like doctor's notes and different things. Um, so I never want people, or even myself for that matter, to like lose sight of all of the information that went into it. I just was very like I even posted on Facebook. People was my family, some of my family was coming at me about posting it. I'm like, no, y'all know I'm the last person you can control. What I'm gonna support what I support. And like you said, you don't like to see any of our people locked up in another country. I've heard it's like 10 times worse,
Yeah.
especially for a woman,
Mm.
Like I know what it's like for a woman here. Not that I've ever been locked up, but my mom worked in the corrections and I got to visit the jail, and baby, it was a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like, okay, even if you don't agree or you don't follow sports, 'cause I kept hearing people say that, like, just look at the fact, look at the case, look at, was justice really served, and the fact that she's home. Just celebrate it. Like you said, nothing we do good can be celebrated, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And one of y'all made another good point, which made me think about another case, is like the whole R. Kelly stuff, right? And like all the, now I ain't speaking on certain parts of the case. I'm just talking about like when, using the R. Kelly case as an example, when Black women specifically come forward about being like sexually abused specifically, and it's by like your favorite celebrity, R. Kelly, Trey Songz, Chris Brown, whom, because they just came to mind because they've been in the news. The first thing people say is, oh, they're lying, they just want money, they just want a bag. And I'm like, do you think that we just sit up here and conjure together stories just so we can get paid?
Right.
Do
Right.
you think that we want our trauma plastered on the shade room and neighborhood talk just to get a bag from a artist? Like, do you think we want our medical records leaked? Because people's records have been leaked to like TMZ and Baller Alert and all these other blogs. Do you think that's just so I can get paid, or so someone can run on YouTube just to talk, to tell my story?
Which probably took a lot of courage to actually come out and say, like, this person violated me, right, in that way. And I just feel like I agree. It's really disgusting, honestly, the feedback that people give to Black women when they come out about stories like that, about violations like that, or their XA experience. It's just like, wow.
Now, as a therapist, how often do you see that though? Like you personally, like it's like Black women coming to you, and of course I'm not asking like personal stuff,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like how often do you see like Black women coming to you about something that they have endured and they're not believed about it, or they're afraid to come forward because they feel like they won't be believed?
Yeah, you know what? Um, Almost all of the Black women that I meet with have shared an SA violation, whether it happened in their like family dynamic or in their circle. But a lot of the times that is what is happening. And it's just really just heavy to hear, because a lot of the times the women in their dynamics or the people around them brush that under the rug, right? No one protects them, no one checks that person, or the uncle that's, what I'm saying, doing this to a lot of people in the family. No one's defending them, no one's like not letting him not come to the functions, he's still loud in there. And
Mm-hmm.
so as a therapist, I get to see that side, right? And people coming in sessions, and I'm helping them through these intense trauma, right? This trauma that they've held for years. Sometimes some of them are, this is the first time they're actually coming and talking about it after years of holding that and not feeling safe enough to share that, or sharing that, and people not really doing much about it. in their dynamics. And a lot of times it's some of the other Black women too in their family dynamics that's defending some of the men that is doing this, right? Some of the men that are violating other women in the family, right? And it's just, yeah, it's a lot. It's the vast majority.
That's crazy. And I wonder because the majority of Black families, the one rule was like, what happens in this house stays in this house. And for
Mhm.
a lot of us growing up, I don't know about y'all, but like I kind of still had that complicit mindset, and I was abused in my house for years. And didn't say anything because what happens in here stays in here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, well, my own Black family didn't support me, initially, and then my people's outside won't support me. So who do I have? And I really wonder how many Black women or even men for that matter feel that way now.
Mhm. Yeah. I was looking at a statistic, and it said that Black women account for, one second, sorry. Black women face a high risk of being killed at the hands of a man. According to the FBI, at least 4 Black women were murdered per day in 2020.
Per
And when I
day?
saw that, I was like,
Per day?
per day in 2020, according to the FBI.
That's shocking. That's so shocking.
Like, whoa.
Whoa.
And then that's not even including the black girls and women who go missing every year that don't get media coverage, right?
Mm.
Human trafficking as well. Like that's also a whole nother thing. Like 40,
Oh,
40
nothing.
a whole nother thing. And it's just like a lot of these crimes that happen include Black women. And it's like no one talks about it. Like I go in a Walmart and I see a wall full of Black girls and women all missing pictures of them. And I don't see that in the media though. When I go in the media, I don't see that. I don't see anyone talking about the missing Black women, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when a palm colored person
Mm-hmm.
goes missing, there's Amber Alerts, the world stops, they get special stories, Netflix documentaries, and I'm just like, wow. It's like we're suffering in invisible. It's invisible. Our suffering is just invisible, and it's just so like, wow. Just seeing that, I was just like, what?
I'm still on the 4 women a day.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
So shocking.
It is. And you know what? Like, and not to excuse the situation or the behaviors, I wonder if that was like in the height of COVID, because you heard during COVID, especially during the height of things, there's a lot of domestic violence and a lot of different experiences and situations that were going on because people were stuck in the house together. And
Mm-hmm.
just, mental health was at an all time fucking high then, and now I feel like we're all slowly but surely trying to come down off of that. But that is insane for
That
a
is,
day.
Very much so. And I agree with you. I think it could have had a lot to do because when you're stuck in the house now, right? And you're stuck in the house with your abuser. So it's like, I agree. That could have had a lot to do with it as well. Just
yeah.
being home now. Everyone's home at this point.
Dang, I had a thought and that took me out. Oh, I got it back now. Okay. Yes. And then, because when you spoke about it, like giving birth, always reminds me of Serena Williams' story when she was giving birth to her daughter, and she kept telling them that something wasn't right. Something didn't feel right with her, and of course, they did not believe her. And it took for her white husband to say, like, "Hey, I need y'all to go see what's going on." And then they found out that something really was wrong. Just to think, if he wasn't there, or if her husband was a Black man, you know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
a documentary on Hulu. I can't think of the name of it right now, about a Black lady this had the same situation. I think it was I don't know if she gave birth and then she passed, or if it was after the fact and she had a C-section and she was complaining about soreness and stuff, but she did pass. But they blew the story up. And I refuse to this day to watch it because some stuff just like really, it just set on my heart. My boss, which is a white woman, messaged me the day that it came out. I was like, hey, you should watch this. And then she told the whole team, like, you guys need to educate yourselves about this. And it really did shock me because I'm like, whoa, okay. Like she's taking the initiative, but those are the people we were talking about that take the initiative that actually want to know, and it's not to know just so like I can be nosy, but it's like, okay, how can I like educate me so I know I can show up to be a better person, or I can better to support you better, or just take the accountability to say like, you know what, I haven't been the best person, but now that I'm learning these things, I'll take the initiative to be better and support Black women because we're good people, and I feel like we deserve that.
Absolutely. We are a
And find a
phenomenal
doctor.
group of women. Absolutely.
Tell everybody that, find a Black doctor. Find a Black doctor, because they're not gonna protect us. We gotta protect ourselves. So find you a Black doctor. I have a 17-year-old, and I tell her all the time, when you have kids, oh, we getting a Black doctor. We getting a Black woman
Black
doctor.
doulas, Black everybody. Yes.
Yeah, when I had my daughter, luckily, my doctor was a Black woman, and her sister had their own doctor's office, and then their mom taught the prenatal class. So I was very blessed in that avenue where I had her and her sister, but I always find a Black doctor.
Good.
Get you a Black.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to find a Black woman doctor, and it's not the fact that um it's the fact that because I think a lot of Black women are doing it. A lot of these doctors, they're like booked, and I work in the field, and I have access to a lot, but it's just really hard because I tell y'all, like, Google be my best friend with these reviews about these doctors and stuff. Like, I look for it all, but I do have a very good, outstanding OBGYN, and she's Black. And the one that I was seeing prior, she wasn't, but she was very, very good, very attentive, and she had did and recommended things that other doctors hadn't. And I was comfortable with her, but I had a situation like, you just like, sometimes you just know something don't feel right, something is wrong, and I'm just like, let me go to this Black lady, and then go to the Black lady. I'm like, oh, you done found what the problem was. You know what I'm saying? Like, miss, why you couldn't find out what was going on?
My doctor's Black right now. I just like talking to someone that recognizes even like little stuff. Like the last time I went to my doctor, and she was like, girl, your braids are cute. Like, who did it? And I'm telling her, she's like, how did she do that? Because I do my daughter's hair. I want to try. Just them type of conversations when I'm at the doctor's office are very pleasurable to me, and I enjoy them. I enjoy that she can relate to me, that when I talk about something, she know what I'm talking about. Like, I just enjoy like and no shade against anybody of any other race. I really not, because I've had, white doctors that are very great. Actually, my therapist is white, and she is one of the most amazing people I ever met in my life.
Mine
But like,
too.
there's certain avenues, I'm comfortable with the Black person. When it comes to my body, and I'm very comfortable with the Black person.
Yeah. Listen, my therapist that I had started seeing in 2017, I was like headstrong about finding a Black therapist. And she was Black, she was nice, very attentive to me. But up until 2021, I realized that I got something from her, but I didn't get enough because I was still messed up. And I searched high and low for another Black therapist, but of course, like after COVID, everyone's in therapy.
Yeah.
A lot of people are in therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like booked, or they don't take insurance. You got to pay out of pocket. Y'all know how that go. And I searched high and low, and I found the therapist I have now, and she is a white woman. However, she's one of them ones that I know for sure, like, she'll stand in the gap with me if I needed something,
Absolutely.
And if I listen to her verbiage, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the way she speaks, it's not like, oh, let me just throw these words in there so it can seem like I know what I'm talking about. No, like she uses words, and like she knows, you know what I'm saying? And we have talked about like certain things that, like, we always talk about things in the news, and I'm like, okay, if she agree with this, then I'm leaving, And of course, like, of course they can say whatever, but like, we face to face. Like, I know if you lying too. If I'm lying, like, look. So, and I feel like, she's older, she gets me, and like I've always say on my podcast, and even in my personal life, Since seeing her for this last year, I have had the best transition ever, the best growth, the best healing. Yes, I may fall short sometime. It's going to happen. I'm human. But this lady has got me right. She's helped me get right.
Mine's is older too. She's an older white lady. And when I tell you, because you know my personality, so you know I'm coming with the shit all the time. So she be ready. Like I feel like she go home and talk about me to her husband. Like, let me tell you what she said today. Cause I come in there ready to go. Like I'll be like, well, if I miss an appointment, she'd be like, oh, I missed you. Like I said, oh yeah, you want me to bring it because you know I'm about to bring it, huh? Like you already know. But when I tell you, like, every avenue, literally like the business plan I've been thinking of right now, she literally helped me put it together. Like she helped me put it together. She literally was like, no, you should try this. Well, why don't you make it this? And I'm like, okay, Kathy, you on to something. Okay. I see what you did there. Like,
Yes.
telling you getting me all the way together.
Come through,
actually,
Kathy.
my first therapist too was a white woman too. But you know, for me, what really helped with me feeling supported is that she was willing to have those conversations with me. And she was very culturally informed. Like she didn't make me feel like I was the only person. Like she even said in one of our sessions, she was like, tell me about how your experience is as a Black woman. Because I know I can never relate. So tell me. And I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna stay. I think I'm gonna stay with her. You know? And it's like the ability for, there's nothing wrong with having a white therapist if you're another person of color or a Black person, but you want that person to listen to you. You want that person to be culturally informed. You want that person to be able to engage in your experience of things. And I feel like that makes all the difference. So I'm glad that y'all having y'all support.
Yes. In mine, she like told me like about certain trainings that outside of like the job that she does just to keep herself informed. And she said, you know, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but a lot of my friends are like people of color and just from different backgrounds. So I pride myself on a certain standard and how I show up. I'm like, yes, girl, like you better, you know? And I was like, what part of Baltimore are you from? And when she told me, I was like, like, cause you just know certain areas, like, if you're from a certain area, that's in any place. Like I didn't even know. I know how you kind of, you know, are. Now if you say like I'm from a certain county, I'm like I might have to side eye you a little bit. But where she from, I'm like, okay, I I can rock with this. I can rock with this. And you know, again, like we face to face. So just as well as how y'all therapists think y'all can tell everything, and when someone is being like dishonest, we can tell the same thing too. And even when I say certain stuff, she don't. I mean, it's in the nicest way. She don't turn red. Like she, you know what I'm saying? Like she sits there, she don't turn red, and I'm like, if you can deal with me, then you good in my book. You good in my book.
You can deal with me, baby. You in there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Anytime I hear like Black women like getting help for yourself and like having a space to get the support, especially with everything we go through, like I just love to hear it. So.
Yes, and speaking of support, like what do you guys feel is something that could happen that we could show up for each other more supportively, if that's a word?
We're gonna make it a word.
Yeah, so like okay, like we mentioned like the whole Black girl follow train. But again, that's like something virtual, which is okay. It's another hashtag. But in real life, what is something that we as Black women could do to show up more for other Black women?
I feel like one thing that we can do, especially with the women that are in our family dynamic, if we see red flags, like if we hear our friend going through something and we know that's a red flag, like a domestic violence situation or like abuse at home, like try to get them help, I would say, or try to help them in terms of like getting them resources or getting them support or telling them the honest truth, like, hey, I don't think that's good for you. I don't think that person's, good for you. I feel like it's important to rally together to support the people that are in your inner circle, right? Don't just sit around and just let this woman go through this or, let this person go through the trenches, right? So at least just checking in with that person and saying, hey, I see you're going through a lot right now. Here's a resource. Like, I think you need some help with that. I'm not okay with you being treated like that, and I'm not going to support it. Like stuff like that, I feel like is important so that they know that they're not alone, and like there's another person that sees that they're struggling and is trying to help.
I like that. But I do because I think a lot of times the first thing people do when they respond to judge a person. And I always say, look, in life, we need to be good, active listeners because as an active listener, I'm listening to learn and not to judge you, you know? And if a person constantly feels like they're going to be judged by something that you say, they're going to stop confiding in you and they're just going to, some people just shut down. And if it's a person like you mentioned that needs help, they're going to suffer silently because they feel like they're going to automatically be judged. Like I have friends now that have other friends, of course, and sometimes in certain situations they feel like they can't be themselves because their friends are going to they always judge them based upon how they live their life and things that they do, and they're like, well, damn, I never treat them like that, but they always do it to me. And so I think it's about like holding space for each other. Like it doesn't matter the circumstances, and know like, okay, I may not have walked your shoes, but I'm gonna show you some compassion and grace and validate your feelings because we live in a world that devalues our feelings so much. We need to value each other more.
Mhm.
Listen, I am a sensitive person. I am tired of scrolling through TikTok and seeing black women as hashtags. Like I am. And then you go through the comments and it's like, well, what did she do? Like, why did she have to do anything? You know? Shit pissing me off sometimes. What you think, Shonte? What you think, sis? How can we show up for each other more?
I agree with what y'all said. I also think like we need to learn how to create like fun spaces for each other, like spaces for people where women can get out. Like I throw this brunch, it's like once every 3 months with a bunch of my girlfriends, people I've never met. So I throw these brunches every 3 months and it's like the safe space. I call it like a good vibes brunch. That's the name of it. I've been calling it that since I started doing them in like 2019.
Yeah.
So the rules are
That plan out.
you can come, got to be a woman, no kids, no husband. This is your space for you to talk your shit, do whatever you want to do, drink mimosas, unlimited, have fun. But it's just like the conversations that are had. Like people have talked about trauma, people have network, people, it's just a space and like people friends bring their friends. So it's people that have came that I've never met before. So like so many people. And then when COVID happened, we didn't do it for like 2 years because COVID wouldn't let us be great. So we didn't do it. And people missed it so much. And I really didn't think that I had an impact on people's personal space. And so like last year my god sister, she passed away from a blood clot, and she's, when I tell you, an amazing person. So but she would come to all my brunches. So when she passed away, people are seeing it on social media. Literally like four of my friends called me and said, I can't believe this happened. She was so amazing. I remember when she did this. And I'm sitting there in shock because I'm sitting there grieving. And I was like, damn, I forgot I brought all these people together. Now all these people are friends. Now all these people like have networked or done business together or bounced business ideas on each other, watched each other's kids. Like I created this space. And like now that I don't have to grieve alone. Like it's people that have met her. It's people that loved her. People that know how I feel. And like I literally forgot because I'm so used to us just all getting together. And it really is like about 30-35 women. It's a big old party time. And so I really wanted to do that because I was like, it's hard for us. Like we work, we go to school, we have businesses, we have kids, we have husbands. And I was like, we don't never just get a space where we can just be comfortable and just chill. So I started doing that because I really wanted like the ladies to just be able to, even if it's 3 out, well, I'm gonna say 4 because they be kicking us out. They kick us out every time because we stay too long. Nobody want to go home. They don't want to go home. Everybody want to stay.
They enjoying the good vibes.
They like the good vibes. So that's what like now I'm going to school to be a life coach. And I was like, when I'm done, like, and I was telling the ladies, like, we go to a restaurant, but baby, one day I'm about to have a building and we're gonna have our own brunches and we ain't gonna have to like pay nobody to do nothing because we're gonna have like, it's coming one day.
Yes.
It's coming. But I really think that we need to create more spaces for women to be able to go out, have have a good time, be comfortable, talk about things, interact with each other, and feel safe. Like just like feel safe telling your business, knowing like it's not gonna get out, or people gonna be talking about you, or people gonna be judging you, because that's really just not the type of vibe that we be on.
Yeah, I love that, Shonte. I think you're doing an amazing thing. Continue.
Yo,
Yes, with the good vibes, bro.
good
Yes, and don't stop. And I am sorry, to hear about your cousin, and thank you for trusting this safe space to, even express that. Definitely continue doing it. You can do it in sake of her name, you know what I'm saying? Because you done brought so many people together. I love hearing stories like that. Make me all mushy
It's
inside.
so fun, girl. And we just started doing like themes. So like last time we had a Kentucky Derby theme, and they shows out, honey. Like they shows out. Like they ain't playing no games. So like we having another one on the 5th, and it's like a Valentine's Day theme.
Oh
So it's
man.
like every we said now we're gonna start doing themes just to make it fun. So everyone just has a good time.
Yeah.
And Shay, we're going to catch a flight to Cali.
You're
Go
gonna
catch
have to link up and catch a flight to the Good Vibes
Yes, we're
brunch.
going to go get us some unlimited mimosas. Okay, I don't
Yes.
even like mimosas, but I'm gonna drink them that day. Okay, but
Yes,
yes, see,
yes.
just creating that type of environment. And I always say, you treat people how you want to be treated. When
Mhm.
people start showing up to the table as them true authentic selves and treat other people how they want to be treated, then hopefully the energy just becomes so contagious that everyone just does that. And I'm not, saying that every situation is always going to end the best and everyone is going to have the same mindset, but at least try to take the initiative to change the whole stigma around protecting Black women, because we're not protecting each other. Like, ask yourself, like, can I do a little more? Like, I literally was having this whole conversation with myself the other day. And I'm like, could I do a little more? Whether it's just like posting more supportive content, checking on people more. I mean, my friends, they will tell you I get on their damn nerves. Like, I will always make sure, because I think it's just a thing where I know how I am when I feel like people are not checking up on me, or I need something. I just make sure that I probably overindulge them. You sure you good? My friend told me yesterday, like, oh yes, I'm feeling so good. This is the best I ever felt, but whatever. I'm like, you sure? Just want to make sure, because I know how people be, because I'm the same way. Like, I'm good, but I'm really not good. But just to really show people that you truly care and create that space that, like, okay, I want you to know that even if you're not feeling good right now, this is the time and space where you can open up and just lay it on me. I can take it right now. Okay, just lay it on me right now. Knowing that, I feel like so many people will benefit from knowing that they have those spaces available to them, and knowing that, like, I'm not going to be judged and I don't have the world against me, because like you said, a lot of us Black women wear a lot of different capes. Whether you're a mom, you have your career side, you're a daughter, a niece, whatever, a wife, girlfriend, soon to be fiance, whatever the case is, we are looked at to show up in all these different spaces and put on this face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, well, when I don't have an enemy to do that, who can I run to? Who can I? You know
And
what I'm saying?
sisters that we should be able to run. I'm loving that you have that space, Shonte. And I think that you're right. Like, we should be creating like more fun things that we can do just to like vibe out and de-stress and take off the mask and take off the hat and all of that and just have fun. Yeah.
Do a girls trip. Like I do girls trips all the time. Like me and my
Yes.
friends
Yes.
went on a super cruise for like a couple of weeks, and we was like no guys, only the girls. And like when I say we was to act up, y'all might see it's I'm not gonna post everything because anything we're posting. But
Yeah.
I totally believe in having girl trips, having girl conversation. Even like I'm in a group text with about 15 of my friends. Literally I know they be tired of me, like you said, because every 2 weeks I'd be like, hey, just checking in. Even from you, Shaquita, I'm sorry. I always ask you about their mental because you do it, so that I kind of stole that because I was like, I like that. So I always text my friends every 2 weeks, like all our big group texts, and be like, hey, just checking in. How's your mental today? 1 to 10. How's your kids? How's your husband? How are you? Are you working on something? You got something new going on? Like talk. They know it's coming. I'm tagging everybody. Like you gonna talk to me. You gonna tell me how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like personally, and this is just me, I always put it out there. Do not ask me if you really don't care. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like don't ask a person just because it sounds good and it's fitting for the conversation. No, like if you some people legitly want to know how you're doing if you need something. I get this weird intuition in my gut about people, or if I have a dream about a random person, I'm instantly like texting them or calling them the next day. You know, because I feel like it's something like God is putting something on my spirit. But then you have other people that just do it because it sounds good and they don't really care. Well, how you doing? Well, I'm not so good. Oh, girl, well, let me tell you what. Like, well, damn, I just said I'm not good, but go on and lay it on me, you know? And I also think that when we talk about protecting and showing up for each other, we have to also think and talk about how we can protect ourselves and show up for ourselves as Black women. Because as a Black woman, we're the face of many things, you know? Some of us, we're protectors, we're head of households. So it's like, what can we do better? Or people that's listening, what can you do better in your life that you know you're gonna be able to maintain your mental health and just be stable, that you can not only show up for everybody else but continue to show up for yourself? Because if you ain't good, if you ain't together, sometimes things fall apart when the woman ain't right, you know.
All the
Yep. Absolutely. Yes.
So it's like, all right, we got to keep ourselves together before we can worry about doing and stepping out and raising any initiatives and keeping other people together. Because I feel like this is a personal opinion. Maybe, you know, Shay, you might got some statistics or something that can back me up. But a lot of people, a lot of women in general, it's harder for them to support other, and this is my opinion again, a lot of Black women, because they don't know what it feel like to be supported. Or they have been hurt by certain things and they ain't done the work to heal. And we know hurt people, you know? So that's what I personally believe. And I feel like if more people actually take the initiative to work on themselves and better themselves, they'll be able to show up to the plate a lot better.
I agree.
Yeah.
It starts with us. It starts with you first, right? It starts with you tuning into yourself, taking care of yourself, pouring into yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You know, you cannot do that. So I would agree with you, Shakita. Like, you know, just like making sure that as Black women, you know, any Black woman listening, take care of you and figure out if whatever situation you're in, if that's what's best for you, if that's fulfilling you, if that's benefiting you, and if it's not, then that may need to be reevaluated. But absolutely, the self-care, the taking care of ourselves is so important, especially in a world that doesn't take care of us. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to do that. That is revolutionary, us doing that, taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, self-care is big. And speaking of self-care, as we wrapping this thing up, y'all gonna be coming to Shonte soon for all y'all self-care and
Yeah.
therapeutic needs. Um, but I'll let her explain that more. Thank you, girls, my sisters, for this lovely conversation. Do either one of you have any words of encouragement for any Black woman out there that is feeling unsupported right now? Do you guys have anything to leave them with today?
I'd like to say to any Black woman who is not feeling supported out there, you are not alone. You matter. Your feelings matter. Your thought, everything matters, right? So I just want to let them know that you are not alone, and that you deserve to be in a space where you are taken care of. You deserve to be around people that protect you, that protect your peace, that don't make you feel like you have to do everything all at once, right? We're not superheroes, but we often are expected to be. So you deserve to be in spaces that make you feel at peace, and that help you to tune into your feminine and your soft era.
Yes, I would love to step into my soft
Step into my soft arrow.
We don't want the struggle era no more. We are done with that.
Like Taraji said, don't call me a strong Black woman.
Right. Yep. Okay. Yes.
What about you, Shonte? You got some positive words, a prayer, something to leave us with?
Yes.
You know what? Not my prayers. No, my go there, but I will say, don't think that everything is a microwave effect. Don't think that when you decide to come on this self journey that it happens overnight. When you are so used to being a strong person, always having it together, when you decide to put yourself first, you will probably lose friends. You will probably lose people in your life because people are going to be like, you acting different. No, I'm not acting different. I'm putting myself first. I know you don't know what that look like because I put everybody else first, but it's not going to happen overnight. Like, it's something, learning how self-care is also self-discipline. And that's something that you have to learn. Like, that is learned over time. Like, a lot of my friends now, they're like, you are always so unbothered all the time. I said, they act like you don't care. You just be so unbothered. And I said, y'all don't know how many years it took me to get to this point. Like, being a hothead, being crazy, always all over the place all the time. And I do be all over the place, but that's just my personality. Mm-hmm. But you don't know how long it took me to years of reflection, years of taking a break from dating, years of taking a break from everything and focusing on myself. It took years for me to get to a place where I have peace of mind and I have boundaries and I have standards. So please don't think because I'm sitting up here and I'm unbothered and I don't have it together. I'm still working on it. But please don't think where I am right now, oh, baby, I did not start that way. It took years. I'm 41 years old. It took years for me to get to having a peace of mind and putting myself first and really knowing what self-care was and really learning how to take care of myself. It's not going to happen overnight. When you've been used to being a certain way, old habits die very hard. So just don't get discouraged if it's not happening overnight because it takes a lot of time.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, girl, you said a mouthful, and it's so important because I think a lot of, I'm not gonna even dig deep into it, but a lot of us, because I was the same way in the beginning, like going on my healing and self-care journey. I wanted to wake up tomorrow and be healed over every heartbreak, every headache, every illness. I'm like, well,
Taking too long.
yeah, like, hold up. What did you pray? What was some affirmations again? I wanted to go to therapy and the therapist fixed me. I gotta do work. No, it's a process.
It's a process. I still listen to motivation every single day because I do not have it all together. I still be like, okay, because I will fight. That's what I do. Like, you're gonna talk, like, I will fight. That's why I have to block people. It's for their own good because I believe in pulling up. So I'm not there yet. I promise you, I'm still a work in progress. I'm not there.
Yes. Yes. And I'm a therapist and I'm still a work in progress and I'm doing my own work. And I'm doing my own work with my own therapist. But you know what? It's important I'm glad you made that statement. And, it takes practice because you're unlearning things. You're unlearning your whole way of being. And that takes practice.
Mm-hmm. And not only are you unlearning things, but then you are looking in the mirror and reflecting on the person you're looking at. And you're like, oh, that was one of my biggest things. Like, looking in myself and learning what it truly meant to take accountability for the part that I played in a lot of relationships and situations where I wanted to blame. I still blame them, but I had to take accountability.
Okay, some of them need to be.
Yes, they really do, but they where they at and I'm where I am, and don't ever compare your journey to the next person.
Yep.
Do not do it. Don't do it. It's okay to look at social media and stuff. But just keep in mind what you see is like a 15-second reel of someone's life, their day. You don't see, it's not transparent enough where you see the whole full scope. And they're not going to get on there and tell you the truth, all of the truth. Some people won't. So
took them 15 tries to get that one reel. That wasn't even the first.
Literally.
Listen.
Exactly. And no one's gonna come on and share the negative parts of their life, right? So you're getting a skewed version of the positive all the time. So yeah.
Listen, the reels, back to putting them together. It takes work, So all in all, just be willing to show up for yourself, and being willing to show up for yourself is doing the actual work. All the internal work you do on the inside is going to reflect your outer. So make it count.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. This was great.
I'm glad that you invited me here, Shakita.
Yes.
Great meeting you, Shonte. I think this is
okay. Let's do this again. The vibe was everything. Like, the vibe was everything.
It was. We definitely can do this again. You girls let me know. We can go live on Instagram. We can make it work.
Oh,
Yes, we
that's a
can.
good one. Get
I'm,
the
Yes.
I'm
comments
okay with
here.
that. Yes.
Tussle a little bit. Let's tussle a little bit.
Yeah, we can tussle a little bit. So to be continued about that. We can do
Yes.
some behind the scenes planning. But
Yeah.
speaking of Instagram and social media, Shonte, tell everyone where they can listen to you. And sorry, I'm not laughing. She know why I'm laughing because listen, please go follow her.
I'm
Go.
gonna follow her.
Yes. Tell them where they can find your social media and your podcast, please.
Okay, so my social media is called Sippin with Shonte. So it's Sippin with Shonte, Shont. I am on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio. I will give you a disclaimer because I give everybody a disclaimer. I cuss a lot. I drink every single episode, except for if I'm sick or something. I'm drinking some tea or something. But sometimes I drink tea too. But I'm drinking wine or a cocktail every episode, and I'm talking shit the entire time. Like I'm very much feel like life is very hard and you have a lot of platforms where you can get the seriousness. So if I can make somebody laugh for 30 minutes, then I've done my job. So I promise you gonna laugh, and I promise you I'm gonna cuss a lot. So if you're offended, don't listen, because you're gonna get your feelings hurt, because I'm gonna be cussing and drinking.
Cussing, drinking, and praying. Listen,
Yes, yes. I
listen.
love it.
Devontae
Okay.
Christ, is that his name? Devontae
Yes.
Christ?
My Lord and Savior.
Yes. But yes, please, for the life of me, go follow Shonte, follow her podcast every Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard
Yes, I'm
Time.
in Cali, so Pacific. Yes,
Yes,
I'm
because
in California.
I quickly learned that. But yes, please go tap in with her. And Shay, please tell everyone where they can go find your amazing therapeutic.
Okay, so everyone, you can find me on Therapy W Shay on all socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. That's spelled TherapyWshay. You can search me on all platforms. I share wellness related content, therapeutic content. I do like funny videos here and there. I also am a children's book author, so I have two children's books, a coloring book and also a picture book for children. It's self-affirmations for Black and Brown children. So go check me out and go click the link and, check out all the things that I have to offer. Thank you so much
Yes.
for having me here.
Yes.
Hi.
Aren't you doing like one-on-ones now?
Yes. Yeah. I'm doing one-on-ones now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Congratulations
one-on-ones
with
and
that.
calls. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. So everyone is listening right now, go to your social media, go to your podcast, and please follow Shonte and Shay. I promise you, I'm not over exaggerating. I know I be dramatic, but I'm really not. Like their content is amazing. As I told you, Shay, before, like I love the realness in your like real life situational content. And now you starting to include the dog in it. And I'm not an animal lover, but your dog is gorgeous.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you.
please continue to post that stuff. Please continue to be you and show up for you because it's really reflecting everything. And you're helping not only me, but I'm pretty sure you're helping other people. So please continue to do that.
I appreciate that.
Shantae.
Follow Shonte and tune in to those podcasts.
I'm a hot
Listen,
girl, a hot mess.
listen. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday. I was scrolling on a call, and all I see is the video with the the twerking with the CEO. I literally had to put myself on mute because I screamed. The scream I let off. Listen, that type of stuff. But even still, being real, in all seriousness, sis, I love you. I'm happy that I connected with both of you ladies. I truly am. And Shonte, continue to be you. Continue to be your true, authentic, real, raw self. And continue to set those boundaries that you do because I'm pretty sure your baby girl is watching everything that you're doing and you are a marvelous example.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I love listening to your podcast. Like, I swear your voice is so soothing. I be wanting you to read me a bedtime story all the time because it's so soothing. I love listening to your podcast. I love the what you put out. I remember the first episode I ever listened to was when you talked about your traumatic experience, and I was like, I like her. I like her. She's so transparent, and it takes a lot of guts. And you have to be very, very brave to want to share your story with people and be okay with people listening to it. So I'm very proud of you. Please continue to do what you're doing. Like, you changing the world. You're a walking testimony. You might not know it yet, but you're a walking testimony. You're going to do great things. I know it. I feel it in my spirit.
Yeah.
Y'all not about to have me on here crying. Listen, okay. That was well received. I appreciate those words. I do. And yeah, you both have inspired some of my content and discussions a lot. Shay, you have helped me think outside the box a little more about bringing certain content, not even just content, just my personal life. And Shonte was the one that had me think out the box and not be fixated on just doing things one way. But it's okay to stray away from that and to embrace other type of things and still be under the same theme. So,
especially with them notes, girl. The notes is just an outline. That's it. You supposed to, I tell everybody, I hit record and that's all you get. I'm not editing. I'm not doing nothing. So yes. I'm warning you, Shay. I hit record. That's it. You get everything. You get whatever happens.
All right. But I'm here for it.
But all in all, everyone is amazing. And everyone that's listening, thank you guys for tapping in with me and my lovely sisters for this episode. All of their links, will be in the description box so you can go tap into them. Please leave them some comments, some reviews, whatever it is. Connect in any way that they have available. You know where to find me. If you don't, my link is going to be down there too. But definitely go follow them. And take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And we out.